Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, this is a short video that I'm making because I wanted to upload something a bit different. And so here we go. Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush green forest lived a clever fox. One day, while the fox was hunting for food, he stumbled upon an enormous juicy-looking worm. The fox quickly grabbed the worm and began to eat it. Suddenly, a tiny mouse poked his head out of a nearby hole and squeaked, "Hey, what are you doing?" The fox, startled by the sudden appearance of the mouse, accidentally dropped the worm. The worm wriggled away and disappeared into the bushes. The mouse, seeing an opportunity to get back at the sly fox, who had been chasing him for a long time, said, "Hey, why don't we make a deal? I'll help you find the worm if you help me get some revenge on that grumpy old lion that's been bothering me." The fox, always up for a challenge and more than willing to take on the lion, readily agreed. Meanwhile, the lion was taking a leisurely stroll through the forest, when he suddenly heard the sound of crashing twigs and leaves. As he came to a halt to investigate, he found the mouse standing triumphantly on top of a rock, and announced, "Hey lion, I challenge you to a fight. Are you too scared to accept my challenge?" The lion, taken aback by the mouse's audacity, roared with laughter. He had never been challenged by such a tiny creature before, and he couldn't believe that anyone would be foolish enough to accept his challenge. But the mouse stood his ground and insisted that the lion accept his challenge or admit that he was afraid. At that moment, the fox emerged from behind a tree and added fuel to the fire by saying, "Hey, lion, why don't you show this little guy who's boss and teach him a lesson he won't forget?" The lion, egged on by the fox, finally accepted the mouse's challenge. And as soon as the other animals in the forest heard about the upcoming fight, they all gathered around to watch. As the crowd began to disperse, the fox approached the mouse and congratulated him on his victory. The mouse, feeling on top of the world, basked in the attention and admiration of the other animals. He had proven that size doesn't matter and that even the smallest of creatures can triumph over the biggest bullies. From that day on, the lion never bothered the mouse again. And the mouse and the fox became the best of friends. They had proven that with courage, wit, and determination, even the most unlikely of heroes can rise to the occasion and save the day. The moral of this story is that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because even the smallest creature can be a hero. And now, my dear audience, it's your turn to join the conversation. What do you think of the story? Which character did you like the most? Don't hold back. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Now, before we part ways, allow me to remind you that the magic doesn't end here. If you've enjoyed our tale today, I invite you to become part of our ever-growing family. Simply click that subscribe button and never miss out on any of our enchanting stories. And if you really want to be enchanted, click on the bell icon to receive notifications of our latest uploads. Until next time, keep nurturing that inner magic within you. Remember, the greatest adventures often start with a simple click. Goodbye, and until next time. The mouse was furious and he wanted to get back at the lion for scaring him. So the next time he saw the lion, he ran up to him and shouted, "Hey, lion, I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna beat you." The lion, surprised by the mouse's audacity, burst out laughing. He had never heard such a ridiculous challenge before. "You, little mouse, want to fight me? That's the funniest thing I've heard today." The lion thought it was all very amusing, but the mouse was dead serious. "Don't laugh, lion. I may be small, but I'm fierce and I'm not afraid of you." The lion, still chuckling, decided to play along. "All right, little mouse, you're on. Let's fight." The other animals gathered around to watch the spectacle. They had never seen a mouse challenge a lion to a fight before. As the two fighters got into position, the animals started placing their bets. The fox, who had organized the whole thing, leaned over to the donkey and whispered, "Don't worry, donkey, I've got this." The donkey, skeptical but intrigued, replied, "Are you sure, fox? This seems like a pretty risky plan." The fight began, and as expected, the lion easily knocked the mouse to the ground with a single paw. But the mouse was quick to recover and he bounced back up on his feet. The crowd gasped as the mouse landed a swift kick on the lion's nose, making him yelp in surprise. The animals watching were on the edge of their seats. No one had anticipated such a turn of events. The lion, shaken by the mouse's agility and strength, decided to use his size and weight to his advantage. He lunged forward and pinned the mouse to the ground. The crowd held their breath as the lion prepared to deliver the final blow. But just as he was about to strike, the mouse managed to grab onto his tail. With a swift movement, the mouse pulled on the lion's tail, causing him to lose his balance and fall to the ground. The crowd roared with excitement as the mouse continued to pull on the lion's tail, making it impossible for him to get back up. The lion, humiliated and exhausted, finally tapped out and admitted defeat. As the sun set over the forest, casting long shadows on the ground, the animals began to leave. The fox, feeling triumphant, walked up to the mouse and said, "Well done, little friend. You've shown us all that it's not the size that matters, but how you use it." The mouse, still buzzing with excitement from the day's events, replied, "Thanks, fox. It was really exciting, but I couldn't have done it without you. You helped me believe in myself." The two friends looked at each other and smiled, knowing that they had forged a bond that would last a lifetime. The moral of the story is that it's not the size that matters, but how you use it. Even the smallest creature can be a hero if they have courage and determination.